Method Zero is a spiritual technique derived from Accelerated Scientology, which aims to enable an individual to free himself from his mental masses, perceive the physical universe as it is, and achieve spiritual results more quickly. It is based on the concept of dynamics, 8 driving forces in life, and is practiced by identifying and observing the most important and then the least important dynamics in a given incident or moment. The technique involves placing oneself as a thetan spiritual being outside the scene and observing the dynamics until they dissolve, thereby freeing oneself from the limitations of the mind and achieving a higher state of being.
Upon the discovery of a higher harmonic of the 8th dynamic, dynamic 8A, as you as God but at effect on the other 7 dynamics. Dynamic 8B, as you as God but not at effect on the other 7 dynamics. I began looking at this part as the theta exterior, or static. It was then I had the idea we progress from the optimal state of exterior with full perception to being introverted into a body or mest. For this to happen, a being has to go down through the dynamics as an exterior being, and then as one who has been introverted into a body or mest. So the logical way to undo this would be to reverse this process. So I graphed on paper the numbers -0 through 8, from left to right, and the numbers 0 to 8, from right to left. The negative series represented an interiorized being going up through the dynamics until they exteriorized from the body. The second set was representative of the thetan exterior from the body going back up the dynamics, until they were exterior from the universe and returned to their native state. When all said and done, this ends up uniformly with a being looking at where they were exterior as a thetan, as a static, which is really just a remote viewpoint.
The main thing we are doing in Method Zero is looking. We are spotting in the environment, past or present one in an incident, the greatest and then least dynamics that were present. Dynamics, one could say, are 8 driving forces, thrusts, impulses, in life. These are motives or drives. We call them the 8 dynamics. The first is existence as an individual being, the second as the sexual drive and life as a couple, the third as groups of individuals, the fourth as humanity. The fifth as the set of lives of the animal and plant kingdoms, the sixth as the physical universe, the seventh as spiritual being, the eighth as infinity or God. This is how it is practiced. First you ask the question. Recall a time, this lifetime, on the whole track, on the pret rack when you experienced, postulated, mocked up, any case factor or item.
Thought the content of the successive dynamics that were in an incident only. Not all dynamics will be present. One may jump from the first or third to the sixth. The physical universe is obviously the most present in any incident.
Then ask, which is the largest dynamic present? And describe it. So then, are you now exterior on this? If not, repeat steps 2 to 4 until the answer is yes. The main thing we are doing in Method Zero is looking. We are spotting in the environment, past or present one in an incident, the greatest and then least dynamics that were present. We are not running thoughts, postulates, efforts, or anything else. Just spot the dynamic and look around it until it blows and you are exterior to that scene. After this you ask, which is the smallest dynamic you are now exterior to? Describe it. Until, can you now locate yourself as a thetan exterior in this? If not, repeat steps 5 to 7 until they can.
The viewpoint is not the thetan here. You must also throw a point from which to view to see where you were exterior from.
The last step is, why are you located there? Repeat until the correct postulate is found and the incident blows with VG is. Then look until you can spot your body in the thetan exterior to of. This is sometimes at a far distance from where the body or environment is. Then the last question is asked of that spot where the thetan being was. That is all there really is to it. One does this at a gradient going up and then back down the dynamics.
Not all dynamics will necessarily be present in what you are looking at. The most common is the sixth dynamic going up the scale and the first coming back down. Remember, the viewpoint is not the thetan here. You must also throw a point from which to view, to see where you were exterior from. This may sound utterly confusing, but it will work itself out if you do the procedure. The above data should help you do that.